Hi there, I'm Jessy Chahal. You're watching the Nation Update live from Bernama TV. We've just witnessed Sonia Yisha with her guests on the program 14 States, 14 Stories, featuring success stories of entrepreneurs and youngsters from across the nation. We've just come from before that as well from a special press conference by the Senior Minister of Defence with regards to the Quartet Ministers meeting held earlier today with regards to COVID-19 SOPs as well. Now, what we know from this particular press conference is that more relaxed SOPs will be announced soon by the Prime Minister. A timeline has been given, and that is between 2 to 3 weeks. So we await those announcements as well. What the ministers did collectively say is that their main concern and priority remains weighing the risks related to relaxing SOPs. They also cited Langkawi as an example with its opening up. One of the main compelling reasons behind this relaxation is the well-being and mental health of the people as well. So know that this committee, the ministers, and the entire government leaders as well are looking at our best interests while they are relaxing SOPs. But here's a quick look at what happened at the Parliament sitting today. So far, the election of a new deputy speaker is among the focus at the Parliament's meeting today. The election to fill the vacancy left by Datuk Seri Azlina Othman Said tops the list of motions in the Dewan Rakyat Order paper at the fourth session of the 14th Parliament. That's been scheduled for 17 days. It began yesterday. In fact, this motion about the Speaker was made following the resignation of the Pengerang Member of Parliament as a Dewan Rakyat Deputy Speaker back on August 23rd. Now, another question on whether the government will review the policy of the MM2H, that is the Malaysia My Second Home program, was also among the focus during the minister's question time. Now, of course, we will be taking you back to the parliament with what's happening there in our telecast as well, but all that to come in the next few minutes. Make sure you keep it locked on to Bernama TV as we bring you the latest and most verified news as well. Now, here's from the Prime Minister's desk. The government's decision to reopen more economic sectors was done as the lockdown move is no longer apt, he says, and feared to have many more implications, including on mental health. Now, the Prime Minister has added that the reopening of the sectors not only can expedite the economic recovery process, but also give the people the opportunity to improve their lives, keeping in mind the livelihood of people here. Now, the reopening of 11 economic sectors in states under phase one of the National Recovery Plan is appropriate, says the Prime Minister, due to the high vaccination rates in those particular states as well. Now, the Prime Minister also tells the Parliament's lower house earlier this morning that the government will consider calls to compel lenders to waive interest fees on deferred loan repayment under Putrajaya's loan moratorium program. Now, this pledge is the first time the government has come out publicly to state that it would entertain such a call even, which quickly, of course, gained traction as the fresh rounds of lockdowns took a heavy toll on small and micro enterprises and jobs across the country as well. But on COVID, the health minister says they will be forming a rapid deployment unit to send urgent oxygen supplies to states hit hard by COVID-19 surges to address future shortages. Now, Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin also says his ministry has responded to the recent surges in the state of Sabah by setting up field hospitals and will ensure oxygen supplies reach these affected areas as well. Kari has said the Ministry of Health is aiming to increase the bed to population ratio in the 12th Malaysia plan. He's also added that the ministry is targeting 2.08 beds per 1,000 people compared to the current ratio of 2.01 beds per 1,000 people. Now, it looks like all-round improvement and progress in many different areas. SOPs in Parliament building have also been enhanced to contain the spread of COVID-19 and to ensure Dewan Rakyat and that sitting proceeds safely. Its speaker says several areas have been agreed in the House Committee meeting yesterday, among them SOPs on movement of House members and staff and the need to undergo compulsory RTK antigen saliva tests randomly every Monday and every Wednesday. Apart from that, MPs also with home surveillance order status due to close contact would be given the choice to vote wearing a PPE as they make an appearance for very important matters to be discussed at the meeting. It's also been reminded to all MPs to not remove the face mask when speaking or debating, as well as encouraging them to put on double face masks. And that's a reminder for all of us as well as we go out and about trying to resume normalcy. Once again, we'll be taking you back to the Parliament from time in just a short while, a few minutes more from now. So do keep it locked on to Bernama TV. Look, we're on Twitter as well. Leave us any message, any comments. If you have any views to share, we'll be bringing that up for discussion either on the midday update or the Nation update. Now, from the desk of the Home Minister, Datuk Sri Hamzah Zainuddin, he says MPs were not allowed to enter the compound of Parliament building last August 2nd to enable sanitization work to be conducted. Now, he says such an action was taken after nearly 100 positive COVID-19 cases were reported at the Parliament building. Okay, let's look at the MM2H program. We, in fact, had an interview with the expert group president and CEO some time back, talking about how this has impacted expats and the expat community here in Malaysia. Now, the government says the revised criteria for the MM2H program adds an additional layer of protection for national security purposes. Home Minister says that this revised criteria aims to attract genuine, high-quality participants who can contribute positively to economic growth. Now, he's also added that the procedure for new participants of these MM2H program had stricter measures for security purposes. Now, he's also stressed that for previous participants, it will be now decided based on a case-to-case basis due to, again, the security aspect. These revised terms and requirements of the MM2H introduced by the federal government effective October includes an increase in the minimum income to 40,000 ringgit, a minimum deposit, fixed deposit of 1 million ringgit, minimum liquidity requirement of 1.5 million ringgit, yearly visa fee of 500, and the visa duration reduced to 5 years. So much more stricter rules and regulations here as well. From the Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa, he says he does not rule out signing similar agreements with other opposition parties after yesterday's, of course, significant day of the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Pakatan Harapan coalition. The minister has hinted that the government is keen to pursue similar deals with the rest of the opposition. And talking about moving out and about, traveling, mental health and well-being, of course, I'm sure you would have heard that Langkawi is opening its doors. This travel bubble initiative will be implemented from Thursday, which of course will serve as a benchmark for opening more tourist destinations in the country. So with this regard, Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri has advised those planning to travel to the resort island for a holiday to be responsible tourists and follow the prescribed SOP. Their action will determine the fate of the country's tourism sector. So let's do the best we can and try to stay safe while we're on holiday as well. Let's look at how the ringgit is faring out. It has rebounded from Monday's dip to open firmer today after the signing of that MOU I just mentioned on political stability and transformation by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri and heads of the Pakatan Harapan component parties. In less than just 24 hours, we've seen the ringgit crawl back up. Now, this ringgit's upbeat performance was also fueled by the stronger crude oil prices after the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries forecasted demand for the commodity to be strong following rising fuel consumption and output disruptions in the US. And SOP requirements for the fully vaccinated to enter business premises will now be enforced in Sabah beginning September 21st. According to the state COVID-19 spokesperson, Sabah has allowed for a week's extension for the fully vaccinated to be allowed entry to restaurants, coffee shops, malls, and supermarkets. Right. From the foreign minister, he says that he has underscored Malaysia's support for an inclusive Afghan-led, Afghan-owned, and Afghan-controlled process towards a lasting political solution that would bring about peace and, of course, security in Afghanistan. Saifuddin also has urged respect for the sanctity of human rights and fundamental freedoms in Afghanistan, which, of course, guarantees the full and meaningful participation of women, youth, and minorities as well. We'll be taking you back to the Parliament in just a couple of moments now. Of course, keep it locked on to Bernama TV for more updates. We are looking at what's trending on Twitter. I'm just going to give you this hashtag Nasi Lemak. Go and check it out. It's sparked a conversation about Nasi Lemak being our national dish. Well, that's all for now. The Parliament is expected to continue in just a few minutes at 2:30. Stay tuned to Bernama TV as we bring you more updates from the Parliament as well. I'm Jessy Chahal. This has been the Nation Update. Thank you for watching.